All right, our next class will be the 4-H senior breeding beef showmanship. We're looking for Tate Berry, Gage Broda, Hayden Hubbard, and Brooke Jacobson. If you have not checked in at the gate, go ahead and do so. I think TC is over there.
Check. Mic check.
All right, looks like we've got 4 senior showmen out there, so we're going to go ahead and bring them on in. That means intermediates. If you can hear me, and if you can't, let your intermediate showman know. Gavin Broda, Callie Burr, Brianna Hollingsworth, Brant Jacobson, Braden Jacobson, Jaden Oshke, and Taya Thompson. Please be making your way to the makeup area outside of the ring and check in with TC so that we know that you're here. Intermediate showman, the senior showman is working pretty quick, so be making your way to the holding area. We are looking for Gavin Broda, Callie Burr, Brianna Hollingsworth, Brant Jacobson, Braden Jacobson, and Taya Thompson.
Well, three showmen come out in the senior division. Give them a good round of applause, if you would. Three individuals that have worked hard. They do a great job. Give them a good round of applause. I think all three of them have done a great job, and you know, not to let the cat out of the bag of what I like in showmanship, but I think that each one of them did fantastic in terms of getting these cattle presented. They're not always going to be in the best of mood. We can work with them at home and as much as we can, and they you know, something they may not like out here, or something that just may trigger them to do something a little bit different that we're not accustomed to. So to me, it's how we react to those situations that make a showman, and we can all teach them to put 4 feet in the right spot and a head up. And so you know, we've got to be able to adapt to certain scenarios and how they react. So I think again, they've all done a great job. For me, the young man leading up front is going to be the champion. Young lady's going to be reserved. Congratulations. Great set of showmen.
Congratulations, senior showman. First place is Tate Berry. Second is Gage Broda, and third is Brooke Jacobson. Give those kids another round of applause. They do a great job. Oh. Okay. Entering the ring now is our 4-H intermediate beef showman, breeding beef showman, Gavin Broda, Callie Burr, Brianna Hollingsworth, Brent Jacobson, Braden Jacobson. Junior showman, be getting it on your mind and heading to the makeup area, checking in with TC. We're looking for Lana Johnson, Ryder Munoz, Triggs Hedman, Riley Vetter, and Braden Vetter. Juniors, Lana Johnson, Ryder Munoz, Trig Sudman, Riley Vetter, and Braden Vetter, please be making your way to the makeup area and checking in with TC Berry.
another great group intermediate showman. Give them a good round of applause if you would. I think an outstanding top pair up here, and this is how they're going to place at the end of the day here for me. But young lady's going to be our champion. For me, she's just one that has commanded the ring as soon as she came in. She's had that heifer presented very well. Again, as I commented earlier, they're not all going to do perfect like they do at home, and so it's how we kind of adapt to those situations. And I think she's got her parked there and gives a nice look. Had some great conversation with her there alongside the fence. Same for the young man in 2 here. This old heifer got on the end down there and didn't want to get set there for him. And again, I watched him kind of get into a corner here, and I could kind of see the wheels turning in his brain. What do I do? What do I do? And he made the right call and got her parked right back in there. He does a great job with that heifer. She didn't want to park with him, didn't want to work with him over there. He stayed calm. Very knowledgeable young man. Good top pair showman. We get down to 3 and 4 and 5 here. Some showmen that, again, they've done a great job. The young man with the black heifer is going to end up 3rd. I think a young man that's done a great job getting her presented. Excuse me, heifer that maybe didn't quite have the ring commanded as he let her, but I think a great job. Young man had a hard time with this old heifer here getting her stopped, but once he got her parked, he got her set up and did a great job with that. The young lady that concludes, I think she's one of those that done a great job. Just here at the end, didn't quite get that heifer squared up and straight, but a very knowledgeable young lady as well. Give them a good round of applause if you would.
All right, our next class in the ring is going to be the 4-H Junior Breeding Beef Showmanship. We're looking for Lana Johnson, Ryder Munoz, Triggs Sedman, Riley Vetter, and Braden Vetter. Congratulations to our 4-H Intermediate Breeding Beef Showmanship. Winner is Brianna Hollinsworth. Reserve champion is Braden Jacobson. 3rd is Gavin Broda. 4th is Brant Jacobson, and 5th is Callie Burr. Give them another round of applause. They do a great job.
Well, it's always fun when the juniors give you the most challenge, in terms of how they get them presented and their knowledge. And maybe they went back to some of the seniors went back to the bar and told them what I was asking, but and that's okay because we want these kiddos to learn. And when I'm judging showmanship. My wife and I get to judge quite a bit in Texas, and we kind of say the same thing. We ask each kid the same exact question, and that is just to tell us about them. You're here to show your cattle off, and tell us what you know about them. There's not always a right or wrong answer, and the seniors may say a little bit more in depth than the juniors may say, and that's okay. Because what that does is that gets these youngsters thinking about what they need to know and what they need to learn about these animals for the future. And so, again, I think the quality was really deep. This young lady hit the ring just well presented. Well, she shows that thing off, and she don't always cooperate 100%. She has to make that heifer do what she wants her to, and that's okay. That's what we're out here to do. And so, again, she did an outstanding job keeping her settled, keeping her set, and making her lead for us. So congratulations, she's the champion. I thought it got a little close to these young men between 2 and 3, and to be honest, when I had them in both spots several times, but to me, the young man that I chose to go in second with there at the end, that old heifer, he was just kind of settled with her. She sees that gate open now, so she's ready to go. But he was a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more calm with her as we got her presented. But both young men are very knowledgeable. I had a great conversation with the young man in third there. Again, there at the end, he got a little excited, got to working a little hard. We just need to relax and show the cattle off. He's a great showman. That young man's going to win lots of buckles in the future, too. So congratulations to those top 3. We get down to 4 and 5. I think we've got a pair of showmen that not quite as experienced, didn't quite keep them set as fast, keep them perked up. But again, both individuals done an outstanding job. Give them a good round of applause if you would.
All right, our next class, we're looking for Pee Wee showmanship. Right? Dawson Sedman, Raina Munoz, Eloy Munoz, Olivia Johnson, and Tinsley Barton. Never mind, not Tinsley Barton. I show 4. Dawson Sedman and Olivia Johnson. We just have bags. Congratulations to our 4-H Junior Breeding Beef Showmanship winners. First place is Riley Vetter. Second is Braden Vetter. Third, Trig Sedman. Fourth is Ryder Munoz. And fifth is Lana Johnson. Give those kids a big round of applause. Following our Pee Wee showmanship, we're going to roll right into our show, starting with the spring yearling heifer in the Hereford division. We've got 1 entry, Ryder Munoz. So go ahead and make your way to the holding area, but looks like you're helping a Pee Wee, so we'll get you checked in. Following that Hereford class, we're going to go to the Black Angus summer yearling heifer, class number 16, and we're looking for Lana Johnson. Once again, we invite Rugged Grace Photography into the ring. You can find her on Facebook, or all images will be accessible at ruggedgracephotography.com/breedingbeeffair 2023. For those of you who have family and friends that are out of town or maybe can't make it to the show, we invited Show Barn Flicks as our live stream. You can find them on Facebook or at their website.
Well, not only are we blessed with the bucket calf show to start with the little ones, but they wanted to come back out here and show the big cattle, and that's impressive. They've all done a great job. 3 young ladies and a young man down there in his Crocs, and they're showing heart and they're having fun, and that's what it's about. So when they get back and they come of age, they get to come out here with the junior 4-H kids and get to show cattle, and again, every one of them said they're having fun, and that's what it's about. So give them a good round of applause. I think we got a prize for each one of them. They all done such a good job.
Great job, Pee-wee Showman. Our first class in the Breeding Beef Youth Show is our Hereford Spring Yearling Heifer. We're looking for one, Ryder Munoz. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started with our Breeding Beef Youth Show. Our first class is the Hereford Division Spring Yearling Heifer. Ryder Munoz is your single entry. Following this class, we will work right into the Black Angus classes. Your first class out will be Summer Yearling Heifers, and we're looking for Lana Johnson. Go ahead and check in with the ambassador at the gate. Let us know that you're here. Kids, we've got a lot of single entry classes or classes with few in them, so be getting it on your mind if you're in the Black Angus. Or the Red Angus will follow the Blacks.
Well, as we get started here in the Breeding Cattle Show, we've got a single entry Hereford I think could use some competition out here. I think a nice built one, and she's modern in her type and kind. I think a female that's got some rib shape there. She's bold-bodied, and I think she's nice fronted as well. Female that gets out and goes relatively well. So I think a nice single entry there that could use some competition. Congratulations, young man. We'll get her back out here in the drive later on today.
Great job, Ryder Munoz. That is your champion Hereford heifer. Our next class will be the first class of Black Angus, which is the Summer Yearling Heifers, with a single entry, Lana Johnson. The class following that will be our Spring Yearling Heifers. Gage Broda and Gavin Broda, be making your way to the holding area and check in with your ambassador. These classes are going to go quick.
We start the Angus show with a nice single entry young lady's got here. She's done a great job getting her set up here for us to look at. Well, I like the foot and bone in that one. She's sure big-footed, and she's certainly got some length to her side and some extension there. You know, I'm being critical of her. She could have a bit more depth to her middle, but, man, I really like the power and the type that she is in terms of her foot and bone size and the dimension she has. So congratulations, nice single entry. We'll come back out in the Breed Champion Drive here in a moment.
Gage and Gavin Broda, you're in our next class. Spring Yearling Black Angus Heifers. You guys can head right to the ring. Following them will be the Junior Yearling Black Angus Heifers. We're looking for Brianna Hollingsworth and Trigg Sedman. Lana, don't go too far because we'll bring you back for the champion Black Angus.
pair of heifers here, a little different in their type and kind. I opted to go with young men in the back here to win the class. For me, this heifer's probably got a little more growth to her. She's a female. It's still moderate in her type, though, with that growth. Still has a real attractive look when you get your park there. I think she gets her neck out of her shoulder just a little higher there in that attachment. Big-footed, good sound structure, kind of a female. I think might have a slight advantage in terms of pin width there. Just a big-bodied kind of a female to start with. I like the heifer that's in 2 for her moderation, her frame, her depth to her side, the balance that she offers you. Here's a heifer that maybe not quite as extended and attractive up front. If we're being critical of her, does that question her as a breeding piece? I don't think so. I think that's a good doing, easy keeping kind of a female when we get her into production. So good pair of cattle there. Some differences in the 2 as I see them. Congratulations to both young men.
Congratulations. First place is Gavin Broda, and second is Gage Broda. Our next class, boys, stick around because we'll bring you back for the champion Black Angus. Our next class will be the junior yearling Black Angus heifer Brianna Hollingsworth and Trigg Sedman. Go ahead and head into the ring.
Again, another close pair, and these two, I tell you how I read them. Young man's going to lead off. I like this heifer and just how dense-bodied she is, the balance that she offers you. She gets out and goes relatively well. I think as we're going to be critical on her, I think she could set that back just down just a bit better in terms of how she hits the surface, but I don't question her longevity by any means. I really like that was designed, the balance, and the way she gets her neck out of her shoulder. The sounder option, I think, is in 2 here. I think she sits more comfortable to the surface on her back leg there. She's a heifer that I really like in terms of balance and the way she looks. I read her perhaps not quite as bold and dense there at the base of her rib cage compared to the heifer that beats her, but man, she's got lots of length, lots of look. I like the width to her. So there's a lot of quality in both these females, and if you swap these, I sure don't argue with you. Certainly tough cattle out here in this drive. Congratulations.
Congratulations. First place is Trigg Sedman. Second is Brianna Hollingsworth. Kiddos, we're going to run your champion and reserve Black Angus. We're going to need from summer yearling heifers, Lana Johnson. From the spring yearling heifers, Gavin Broda and Gage Broda. And from the junior yearling heifers, we'll need Trigg Sedman and Brianna Hollingsworth. So you guys can go ahead and head back in.
We got here for our champion Angus. A nice trio of cattle to start. Single entry there. I talked the young lady's heifer. I really like that one's foot and bone size and the extension she offered. Perhaps could have a bit softer, more maternal look there in her middle. I like to make her deeper and bolder there in her middle, but I really like that one in terms of her foot and bone size. There was a pair of heifers in the Class 2. I thought there were some differences. I opted to go with the higher performing heifer. I thought that had a little nicer look from the side. Good body, kind of a female that certainly sounds structured. And I think that was a close pair in Class 3 with those two. For me, a heifer that's really fresh in her appearance, female that's good and balanced, one that's got some shape and dense look to her body there. I think one that's got some natural width as well. She's the champion. We're going to bring that second place in and get a look at her for reserve.
Your champion Black Angus heifer is 221, Trigg Sedman. Bringing back from the junior yearling heifer class for the reserve selection is Brianna Hollingsworth with her KO 215 heifer.
She gets that second place heifer around there and parked as I talked in them class. This one might have been a little sounder structured, but not quite as dense in her body. I think real close pair. That one's going to come on over here for reserve. Congratulations.
Brianna Hollingsworth is your reserved, shows your reserve Black Angus heifer. Next class will be the spring yearling Red Angus heifer. We're looking for one Riley Vetter. Our next class to show will be the Junior Bull Calf in the Gilvey division. We're looking for one entry, Blake Wheeler. Go ahead and make your way to the makeup area and check in with your ambassador.
Nice single entry here to discuss in the Red Angus show. I think a real attractive heifer here has got a nice look, and she's certainly big and round in that rib cage and got some natural width to her skeleton and a good set of feet and legs under there. I really like the size to her feet and leg there. I think that's certainly worth a comment in terms of for this, especially for this breed. So I think a nice female there in her own right that could use a ton of competition. Congratulations.
Congratulations to Riley Vetter. She shows your champion Red Angus heifer today. Our next class will be the Junior Bull Calf in the Gilvey division. Is Blake Wheeler checked in? All right, looks like our next class will move into the other English straight or cross spring yearling heifer with one entry, Ryder Munoz. Our next class in the Breeding Beef show will be other English straight or cross, cow, 2 years and over. We're looking for a single entry, Tate Berry. Go ahead and make your way to the makeup area.
Get to the other English division here. We got a nice single entries. Young lady's doing a great job getting her presented here. I think a heifer that's got some depth to her body. She's certainly maternal from that standpoint. Ultra feminine female up front. Like that about her. Like the moderation to her frame. Going to be a good, easy keeping kind of a cow out here. So I think a good single entry. Congratulations to her.
Congratulations. Stay close because you'll come back for our grand other English straight or cross heifer or breeding selection. Right now we're looking for Tate Berry's cow, 2 years and over. Brianna Hollingsworth with your main Anjou or main cross spring yearling heifer. Go ahead and make your way to the makeup area.
Nice single entry cow here. It's got a calf on her side. Good udder on this female. I think a good functional cow. I think that's got some extension to her. A good moderate kind of a female out here as a single entry. So we'll get her back out here in Champion Drive here in a moment.
Congratulations, Tate. First place in cows 2 years and over in the other English straight or cross division. Right now we'll bring back Ryder Munoz, other straight or cross spring yearling heifer for the Grand and Reserve other English or cross selection. Following the selection of the other English straight or cross female, we will go right into the main Anjou or main cross classes. We're looking for, in the spring yearling heifer class, Brianna Hollingsworth. In the junior yearling heifer class, Brooke Jacobson. And then we will have the Grand and Reserve for that division.
Get out here for our breed champion of the other English. Some differences in terms of condition in these two. This younger heifer, I think a female has got some depth of body and some balance to her. Maybe perhaps narrows to her pins, gets a little rounder there. But I think a good doing kind of a female is certainly easy keeping. The model face cow has got a calf on her side. I think a good built one. I think that certainly probably stouter and square hipped out of her pins yet. Young female. It's got a 90 to 100 day calf on her side. She's got a nice udder on her side. Good and structured. I think a good kind of a female there. I like her the best to be the champion. Young lady, you'll be reserve champion. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Tate Berry shows the champion other English straight or cross, and Ryder Munoz owns the other English straight or cross reserve. Exhibiting now is Brianna Hollingsworth in the spring yearling heifer main Anjou main cross class. Our next class will be the yearling junior yearling main Anjou or main cross heifer, we're looking for Brooke Jacobson, and then we will have the division selection for the main Anjou or main cross.
Boy, a real stout, big-footed main female to start the mains with. As a single entry, young springborn heifer, I like quite a bit in terms of just how powerful she is, how dense she is there in the middle part of her body. Again, with that big bone and foot size, I think one that uses it really well as she goes. Again, a big, powerful, built kind of heifer. It's still got a nice look up front, so I think an awfully good single entry there that could use some competition. We'll get her back out here in our breed champion drive here in a moment and look at her for that. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Brianna Hollingsworth exhibits the spring yearling heifer main Anjou or main cross first place. Our next class is the junior yearling heifer main Anjou or main cross. We have a single entry, Brooke Jacobson.
Another nice single entry here. I think kind of contrasting to the previous single entry. This is the maternal feminine female. It's still got a good sized foot under there. Well, she's big middle, and I think a good balanced heifer that's got a nice look. In terms of width or skeleton, she's got plenty. She's not going to overwhelm you in terms of three-dimensional shape, but I think that's where the femininity part comes in, and I think that's an ultra-maternal kind of a female. So, again, another nice single entry that we'll take a look at here in the champion drive.
Congratulations, Brooke Jacobson exhibits the junior yearling heifer in the main Anjou or main cross division. We will bring back Brianna Hollingsworth for the main Anjou or main cross division drive. Each of these ladies were first place in their respective classes. Our next class will be the junior heifer calf. In the other exotic straight or cross division, we're looking for Riley Vetter. At least now you can have a freaking picture in your circle.
Again, as I commented earlier, a contrasting pair here in the main show to discuss. As I commented in the first class, the power heifer's there. That one's got a big old foot under. She's certainly big pin and big hipped, and tons of power in that particular female, but I still think she doesn't give up too much in terms of maternal strength. I think she's still soft enough there in the middle part of her body. She's still got a nice enough front there. I think she's made neat enough there through her shoulder. She's not one of those that is big old wop hipped and then real coarse fronted. So there's some positives there, in my opinion, to go along with that. But good, useful kind of a female there. You know, I think she's got enough rib there in terms of maternal strength, and that's a nice kind of a female. The feminine heifer here is another big-footed one that's real extended ahead of her shoulder. She's got a beautiful balance to her. She's one of those, though, I think that could have a bit more middle in her. She's not as big pinned as the heifer that in front of her, but I think as a bred female, this is going to be one that you're going to love. I think this one's going to be just beautiful from the side. I think that's a female that's really sound, and her skeleton gives you a good look. So, you know, I think it comes down to how you lay your priorities and what you're looking for in these particular two. I'm going to use the stout heifer to win, the feminine heifer reserve. I sure don't argue if you like those different. That's a good pair of cattle. I'd be proud to have either one of them. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Brianna Hollingsworth exhibits the champion Maine Anjou or Maine Cross heifer today, and Brooke Jacobson exhibits the reserve. Our next class will be the other exotic straight or cross junior heifer calf. We're looking for one entry, Riley Vetter. You can head on into the ring. All right, we're going to roll into the other exotic straight or cross spring yearling heifer. We're looking for Tate Berry and Riley Vetter.
some differences in these two that I see. The Blaze Face heifer's probably a little softer built, a little softer there in her middle. A good heifer that certainly got some natural width to her skeleton, so that's why she starts. I think that's a good pair of cattle here to discuss. For me, I think that I read the Blaze Face heifer just a bit bolder and denser at the base of her rib cage. Not to take away from this black heifer, I really like her feet and legs and how she goes. Really powerful, perhaps maybe with that power a bit coarser through her shoulder, perhaps a bit tighter back in her rear rib and flank. But man, there's a lot of quality in this heifer, I think, in terms of foot and bone size and power and dimension as a breeding piece. So there's a lot of merit in that particular heifer as well. Certainly not a last place heifer. I think we got 30 out here. These two are in the top end. So congratulations, good pair of cattle to look at.
Congratulations, Riley Vetter, first place in the spring yearling heifer, the exotics, and Tate was second place. Stick close, kids. We'll bring you back for the Grand and Reserve in the division. Our next class is the junior yearling heifer, other exotic straight or cross. We're looking for Braden Jacobson, and Braden Vetter. Exhibiting in our next class will be the 2-year-old or over exotic straight or cross cows. We'll need Braden Jacobson and Riley Vetter.
We get into this other breeds here in the exotics. We're going to leave these as they stand. The black heifer is going to lead off for me. Really like that heifer in terms of her belly shape and how big-bodied she is. Still very balanced as she goes, and really sound and angular off both ends. And, you know, she's one of those that's maybe not the sleekest, but still has a real nice neck set there under her shoulder, and just a really good kind of cow, in my opinion, in terms of just power and width and dimension. Is still very maternal, so I like a lot of things about that one. I think there's some differences between 2 and 3 here. I like the width of this one's skeleton, width to her pins, the look she gives you. I don't argue she needs more lower rib shape. I'd like to deepen her up there, make her a bit more maternal from that standpoint. But I think that kind of goes along with what she is. She's that clubby kind, and she's probably owned to raise some show steers, and so I think she's got a lot of qualities there for that. She's certainly good looking. She's big-footed. I think a stout pin kind of a female. I think a good pair of silvers to look at here. To me, the silver one that goes third is probably a little quicker in her maturity pattern. I do think she's bigger and deeper in the base of her rib cage than the heifer that beats her. She don't quite stouten up as much in terms of her pin width there. Perhaps I read her a little straighter to the angle of her shoulder, and that's where she don't get quite that real good look up front. But a good trio of cattle to discuss out here. Lots of differences in these three. Congratulations.
I got you. I missed the placements though. Second. Okay. Congratulations to Braden Vetter and first, Braden Jacobson in second, and Brant Jacobson in third in the junior yearling other exotic straight or cross class. Now we'll do our division drive for the exotic straight or cross females. We need Braden Vetter and Riley Vetter back with your heifers. And everyone else in the barn, we're looking for our Hereford, Black Angus, Red Angus, and other English straight or cross and main Anjou or main cross heifers to come back for the grand overall female selection. Exhibitors are Ryder Munoz in the Hereford division, Trigg Sedman and Brianna Hollingsworth in the Black Angus division, Riley Vetter in the Red Angus division, Tate Berry and Ryder Munoz in the other English straight or cross division, and Brianna Hollingsworth and Brooke Jacobson in the main Anjou or main cross division. Be headed to the makeup area with those heifers, please.
Good pair of cattle out here to come out for our breed champion. The Blaze Face heifer I really like from the side in terms of her look and the balance she gives you. Certainly really sound as she goes. I think for her size, she could have a bit more middle to her. I think that'll come. I really like the way her rib is designed. Like to see her just a bit bolder there in the middle of her rib cage. But, man, I really like that one's design. I like her width. Like a lot of things about her. The big middle heifer is the one behind her. I think one that's got tons of power to her. Yeah, she's got a little shoulder up there, but she's still nice and neat the way she's built up front. You question is she, in terms of condition, she could lean up. I think she's probably right on target. Just a good kind of a female in terms of power and dimension. Really like a lot of things about her. She's the champion. I like that Blaze Face heifer to be reserved. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Braden Vetter exhibits the champion other exotic straight or cross heifer, and Riley Vetter exhibits the reserve exotic heifer. Now we'll bring back all of our breeds for a grand female selection. We're looking for our Hereford Rider, exhibited by Ryder Munoz, our Black Angus champion, exhibited by Trigg Sedman, our Red Angus champion, exhibited by Riley Vetter, our other English straight or cross heifer, exhibited by Tate Berry, the main Anjou or main cross, exhibited by Brianna Hollingsworth, and your other exotic straight or cross, exhibited by Braden Vetter. Following the selection of our breeding female, we will have about a 5-minute little break before we head into the English bred steer feeder calves, and we're looking for Tateberry.
We'll give these breeding cattle exhibitors a good round of applause, if you would. They did a nice show. I think there's some cattle back in the barn that are still high quality, and so that's something to be very proud of. As we started with the single entry Hereford there, I think a heifer that, as I commented there, could use some competition. I think we've got a good balanced heifer there that's got a nice turn to her rib. So it's a nice look up front. I think an awfully nice female. Angus heifer I thought was really good in terms of her build, her design, and her kind. I think that was a good pair of cattle in that breed. Female here that you really like the rib shape in her. As I commented on her in that particular pair, maybe this one could hit the surface a bit more flexible, but that's from that pair. I think this female is still very sound, and as she gets around the ring, as we discussed that from a productivity standpoint, I think a nice kind of a female. The red Angus heifer I think is got a nice look, and boy, she's stout and powerful and has a really good look up front. She's big-footed. I think a female that could use a ton of competition out there as well, just a good kind of a female. The cross English there, I think there was a pair of females that a little different in their type, and this one I landed on just I thought quality-wise, I thought she was bigger, stouter, square hip there. Obviously, you can see kind of what she's got there because she's in her working clothes and she's got a calf on her side, and so we've got what we got there, and I think a good kind of a female. It's got a nice udder underneath there. She's good, sure sound. There's a lot of quality in that particular female. The mains, I think there was a pair of cattle there that is a little different. I landed on the stout heifer there that's big-footed. It still has a nice front. She's certainly one of those that's really robust in the way she's built. That particular heifer that was reserved was probably a little bit more feminine in her feature, but maybe didn't have quite as much rib shape as she probably, or rib dimension as she probably should have, but that's a good pair of cattle in that particular breed. And a good pair of cattle that in the last breed there. I really like this one in terms of just rib shape and power and dimension. Young man gets her set up there with a nice look. A good functional female there as well. As I said, yeah, she's powerful. She may have a little shoulder up there, but man, tons of rib, tons of middle in that one. That's a good kind of a cow. She beat the Blaze Phase heifer that maybe did, for her size, maybe could have a shot more rib, but a really good one in her own right. So good set of cattle out here. Give them a good round of applause. I'm going to go show you a couple of my favorites.
Congratulations, Braden Vetter exhibits the champion breeding beef female today at the 2023 Laramie County Fair. We'll bring back his sister Riley Vetter with her second place or reserve other exotic. Reserve breeding beef female will go to Trigg Sedman out of the Black Angus division. Congratulations to all exhibitors. We'll take about a 5-minute break, brief pause before we head into the feeder calves, and we'll start with our English bred steer class. We're looking for Tateberry with 1. All right, exhibitors, we're ready to get back into our feeder class divisions. We're looking for Tapeberry, a single entry in the English bred steer class. Our next class, these are all single entry classes, so kids headed to the holding area. Our next class will be Shariah Eklund with her exotic bred steer. And the final entry will be Caden Nichols with their exotic bred heifer.
We start the feeder calf show. I think a good place to start with this single. I think a powerfully built one that's got some muscle to him. Good growth indicators in there. I think an awfully good balance kind of a calf that's certainly going to feed well. So congratulations on a good single entry.
Congratulations, first place in the English bred steer feeder calf is Tapeberry. The single entry for our exotic bred steer feeder calf is Shariah Eklund. Caden Nichols, be making your way to the holding area for your exotic bred heifer class.
another long-bodied one that's got a big foot underneath him. Lots of growth in this particular calf. Again, another one that's going to be a good growthy feeding kind of a steer. And for me, I think another good single entry there. Is a comment on him based compared back to the red one we just saw. Maybe not quite as bold in his middle, but I think a good kind of a calf in his own right in terms of growth and performance. So congratulations.
Congratulations, Shariah. Our next entry will be Caden Nichols with your exotic bred heifer. Following this class will be our champion drive for the feeder calves. So we'll need Tate Berry back, Shariah Eklund, and Caden Nichols.
Nice young heifer calf here. Young man's got certainly got a nice look to her, got some growth. I appreciate the width and dimension of that one. Again, another growthy kind of a feeder calf. I think that certainly got a good sound structure underneath her, and so I think as we feed her through the process, I think we're going to have a nice product there at the end. So congratulations on a nice young feeder heifer calf.
Congratulations. First place in the exotic heifer feeder calf class is Caden Nichols. In the ring now is the division drive for the feeder calves, Tate Berry, Shariah Eklund, and Caden Nichols.
We get out here for our champion feeder calf. I think we got three nice calves out here to discuss. As they commented on the red one, got plenty of power and dimension in him. Got some rib shape promise there. It's going to make him a good feeder, in my opinion. I like the foot and bone size under that one. So we comment on the exotic there. Sure, big bone and big ended. Good attractive kind of a calf that maybe not quite has the lower rib shape in him, but I think a good big bone, lots of growth in that particular calf. The heifer calf, I think one is got some width and dimension to her, and one that's got some growth there. Sure got a nice look, and so I think a nice kind of a calf in her own right. I think there's some breeding piece features in that particular one that I think we could kind of study that one and maybe keep her back as a replacement. So I think a nice little young calf. I like the red one to be the champion feeder. The young heifer will be reserved. Congratulations.
Way to go. All right, that was our conclusion of the first part of our breeding beef show. We will go ahead and take a quick little lunch break and resume back at this arena at 1 o'clock for our Supreme Cow contest. That gives you about